Oh, he can't swim. What's Gucci, y'alls? This week, we got Nier Replicant version 1.22474487139. Damn, that's a lot of numbers. Goddamn, call me. Before we start, we gotta talk about what the hell is even this game and where it came from. So we gotta go to the beginning, the origin story. Nier was originally released in the US in 2010 for the Xbox 360 and PS3, and while I did actually buy the original Nier on PS3 like a few years ago from my local GameStop, thank you, by the way, you know who you are, I actually never played it. I know, okay, I know. I had already played Nier Automata, and I saw it, and I was just like, okay, I'm gonna buy it. I just wanted to buy it, okay? Can you relax? It takes place before Nier Automata, so this is basically a prequel to the series. To summarize, Nier Replicant is like an update to the original Nier, but that's not to say that there wasn't things added to improve gameplay. Like, the core game itself is basically the same, and if you played Nier Automata, if you haven't already, you definitely should. Most of the elements will feel natural, and we'll touch on that later on in the video. With that being said, let's jump in and start the review. The story starts off very JRPG-like, with the main character taking care of, in this case, his sister, on a quest to find a cure for her disease. If it sounds like a typical JRPG trope, you're pretty much right. Being a Yoko Taro game, this game is meant to be played more than once to truly experience all the endings. Don't expect anything crazy like 26 endings in Nier Automata. By the way, I'll be making a lot of cross-references between this game and Nier Automata a lot, since Automata is like the sequel to this game. And you know, this is the prequel, so they're kind of similar. So to start off, you meet a bunch of very interesting characters. If you like 2Booty, sorry, she's not in the game, obviously, but there is a skin available on Steam. Don't worry, because the booty base is uncovered here.
Nice.
By the way, if you're enjoying the video, hit like, because I'm going to be uploading these videos weekly reviewing older games or newer games, or leave down in the comments below what game you want me to review next. If you've played the original or watched other reviews, chances are you probably heard of the side quests and how tedious and mundane they are, which basically make you a runner boy for like everything. You fetch stuff here, going there, and you backtrack and all that. Most of these side quests can actually be skipped, since there's really no merit in doing them besides getting like gold to like buy stuff and upgrade your weapon. Don't get me wrong, they're absolutely not terrible and game breaking. It's just a dated format, because remember, this is just an updated version of the original game, so many of these elements stayed the same. I should note though that when starting off, it starts off pretty slow. You're kind of just running around, just doing random quests and stuff, but then it picks up a lot later on. You just got to get through that initial intro. But one of the new things that Nier Replicant brings is the new combat system. If you played Nier Automata, then this should feel no different to you. Combat feels the same as Nier Automata, which is a huge improvement from the original. It's fluid, flashy, and fast. There's only a few weapon types to use, and upgrading is quite expensive, so you pick a weapon you like, and you pretty much stick with it. As you play, you gain these buffs called words that can be applied to weapons, defense, or spells. You gain more as you go along, and looking for the best one to use can take quite a bit of time, but there's a filter that allows you to equip BIS, or Best in Slot, which equips your strongest words on your gear. Replicant breaks up the gameplay by changing the camera angles from top-down view or the old-school side-scrolling view, which is a nice touch. You'll also encounter a series of puzzles in order to progress, which got my brain working for a little bit, because there are some certain situations where you can't do certain actions, like you can't jump, and then if you jump, you like go back to the beginning of the puzzle. Like for this one, I couldn't run, I couldn't dodge, and I couldn't use one of my skills, so I basically had to walk through all of these things trying to shoot you, but then I did figure out a way to get past it, and that's one of the things that you'll encounter as you play. You're gonna get puzzles like this where you can't do certain skills. You're gonna have to basically figure out different ways to finish the trial, so to speak. Boss battles are nicely done and will constantly keep you moving around, dodging all of these red energy balls that keep flying at you, and if you get caught slipping, you will get hit and you will potentially die, because these things do not play. What else doesn't play is this amazing soundtrack. Music. My god, the music. If you've played Nier Automata, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If not, then I highly suggest you play it, as I think that game has one of the best original soundtracks I've ever heard. And this game is no different. Running across the open field, going to town, to the barren land of the desert, and the intense boss battles, the music really does set the tone for whatever it is you're doing. The music can go from really dark and boding while also be uplifting and adventurous. There's a reason why Nier has won awards for its music score and soundtrack overall. Along with the music, well, it doesn't really tie in with music, is the voice acting. Now, of course, I'm playing this in Japanese, and the voice acting is really good, really spot on, and it gives life to the character. You know, you got Kaine, who's this like hardcore chick who like cusses all the time, which is funny because if you're playing in Japanese voices, some of the cuss words she says is actually bleeped out. And I think in the English dub, she just says it outright. And then you got the Grimoire, who is also very entertaining to listen to, because he's basically like this old condescending man, and he kind of just talks however he feels like. And there's another character I haven't met yet, who is Emil, but I only know because I've played Nier Automata, and Emil's in that game as well. Spoiler alert. Compared to its original version, the graphics have definitely been improved in this version, as the original Xbox 360 and PS3 version looks very flat and almost unfinished. Compared to other games that are released within the same year or around the same month as well, like Red Dead Redemption, God of War, or even Assassin's Creed, you'll see the differences I'm talking about. But those are things of the past, and we're now in a new stage and a new era of graphics where everything looks so beautiful and flashy. So those things are pretty much a thing of the past. Until like, 20 years later, we look at current graphics and be like, oh my god, that was terrible, look at that, we thought that was cool. I mean, that's how I felt with, like, when I think about PlayStation 1. I'm like, man, I used to think those graphics were cool. Oh my goodness. 4th gen console should have no problem running this game, as it's not graphically intensive. I'm playing on PC and I've had no issues whatsoever. Mind you, I don't really have a very strong graphics card like an RTX 3090 Titan XV, so don't think I'm packing some serious heat, because I'm really not. To wrap things up with this review, if you're a fan of the Nier series, then this should be a no-brainer if you really want to know the history behind what happened before Nier Automata. And if you are just getting into the series, should you play this first? It's not necessary to understand the full story if you were to go play Nier Automata. I mean, you could play Nier Automata first and then come to this, which is basically what I did, because obviously Nier Automata came first and then this just got released. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely not necessary for you to play this first to understand the Nier Automata storyline. The game is a nice adventure, it looks beautiful, has a amazing soundtrack, and overall I think it's a pretty nice game to play. It's quite relaxing if you're not getting mauled by all these giant red orbs. The voice acting's great, the characters are very comfortable to be around, they're entertaining, combat is very fluid. So with that being said, thank you very much for watching. Remember to like the video, because I'm going to be releasing these videos every week reviewing old games or new. So until next time, peace.